Sean Oliver was on Fightful this week. Sean Oliver, of course, the host of Kayfabe Commentaries. If you're not familiar with Sean Oliver or you haven't seen the Kliq This Podcast yet, you're missing out. Sean Oliver is absolutely one of the greatest interviewers in wrestling. He's got such a way of just pulling out these fun stories from people. He's got a little bit of snark to him, a little bit of smartassery. He's heard the worst of the worst stories. He's heard it all. You know what I mean? He said when you sit down and you do a deep dive interview with Sonny alone, you're gonna have to go get shots or something. You know what I mean? But it was in this particular clip. He sat down with Sean Ross Sapp this week from Fightful. Talked all about all of that, the kayfabe commentary stuff and the whole story behind that and the come up of that, how that became popular, some of the books that he's written, and just some of the more wild stories that he's come across by doing those types of shows. But it was in this particular clip here that we got the origins of the Kliq This Podcast with Kevin Nash. Check out this clip.
I was so happy to hear that you and Kevin Nash were doing a podcast together because you guys are my favorite interview combination of all time.
It was people like you, Sean. It was fans that, I always enjoyed the shows. Kevin obviously enjoyed the shows. He was willing to do them for next to nothing, which he doesn't do.
Yes, I know.
But people would talk, and we would consistently see over the years, while Kayfabe Commentaries was still very active, people would request it and enjoy it. Then, even after that, it continued. The words that were thrown around were chemistry and all this stuff, the impossible things to prove. They just wanted to hear me and Kevin talk. Well, he was talking. I was mostly asking questions. It was 2018, I guess, when he said, well, let's do a podcast. So after a few false starts, we talk about it. I'd get random texts at 2 a.m. like, me, you, podcast, call me tomorrow. He said, it's now or never. There's just too many out there. We're going to have to do this. So I said, if we're going to do it, it's going to have to be a commitment. We're going to have to do it the right way. It's going to have to be a real deal for people. It's going to have to be a reliable thing for folks. And that was it. And we were off to the races, and we went 100 miles an hour.
I hadn't really known the extent of Sean Oliver and Kevin Nash's friendship or chemistry on camera. I'm sure I've seen their shoot interviews before, but never really it's been a while. But I was so pleasantly surprised to see Sean Oliver pop back up when I saw that Kevin Nash was going to be doing a podcast and doing it with Sean Oliver. Because like I had said earlier, I came up as a wrestling fan watching these kayfabe commentaries. This is where I got some of my deep education. These were out before podcasts were really, before there was these Something to Wrestles, and really before there were any podcasts doing any kind of insider deep dives into anything going on behind the scenes. Kayfabe Commentaries had all kinds of great stories from all kinds of top guys, mostly from the 80s and the 90s. They were the guys that are on the convention circuits and in indies, and never anybody contracted currently or anything like that. But he did the Kayfabe Commentaries. He did the timelines where he would just take a full year. He did guest booker where he had wrestlers come on, or old bookers come on and kind of rebook the territory a little bit. Just great shit from Sean Oliver. Like I said, he's a fun interviewer because he's got such a way of being able to play off of the most ridiculous of stories and situations. Nothing phases him. He's not gonna be shamed. He's not gonna be embarrassed. He's not gonna be caught off guard or offended by anything. You can hit him with pretty much anything that you got, and he's gonna straight face it and have some sort of snarky, smart-ass reply to it. He's just great. He's just a fantastic interviewer. So I highly recommend, if you have not heard much of Sean Oliver, go back and check out this interview on Fightful with Sean Ross Sapp. I have linked it in the description below. And if not, at least check out the Kliq This Podcast if you haven't yet. Kevin Nash, also very personable on there. Kevin Nash is a great guy to listen to. He's smart. He's educated. He's well-spoken in between F-bombs. Never afraid to speak his mind at all. And they often get way off track and talk about a wide variety of other things than wrestling, which can be pretty refreshing at times. You know, give or take. Some of their political conversations I could do without, but other than that, like, they're just fun to listen to. It's a good combination, a good pairing, and so I highly recommend it. And with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next clip.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.